everybody, and today we are going to be going through a GCSE Physics worksheet for both foundation and higher level. So the first question is, name 3 types of energy stores. Okay, so for one, we could say KE, i.e. the kinetic energy store. This is the energy store of a moving object. We could also say GPE. This is the energy of an object that is elevated. It's gravitational potential energy. We can also say EPE, or elastic potential energy. This is the energy in an object when it's stretched. Okay, the next question is, a 1.5 kilogram object is lifted 2 meters. Calculate the gravitational potential energy gained using G equals 10 newtons per kilogram. The mass, M, is equal to 1.5 kg, and the height is equal to 2 meters, and we're given G as 10. So the formula to calculate GPE, or gravitational potential energy, is just E equals mgh. So literally what we'll just do is 1.5 times 10 times 2. So we put that into a calculator. And we get E is equal to 30 joules. Okay, so question 3 asks, what is the unit of current? So we know that current is measured in amps. Okay, so question 4 tells us that a 12-volt battery is connected to a 3 ohm resistor, and it's asking us to calculate the current in the circuit. So for this, we're going to use the equation V is equal to IR. So we've got V, or the potential difference, which is 12 volts. And we've also got the resistance, which is 3 ohms. And we're asked to find the current. So what we'll do is we'll rearrange this equation to get I. So I is V over R. So if you want to write it with the values that we've got, I is equal to 12 over 3. Therefore, 12 over 3 equals to 4. So I is equal to 4. And in question 3, we did say that the unit of current is amps. So I equals 4 amps. Okay, now question 5 asks us simply to define the term density. Now, density is just the mass of an object per unit volume.
Question 6 tells us to calculate the density of a material that has a mass of 500 grams and a volume of 100 centimeters cubed. We know that density is given by rho equals m over v, or in other words, density is equal to mass over volume. And since we're looking for density and this formula already gives us what we want, we can just substitute in mass over volume. 500 over 100 equals 5, and we can leave that as grams per centimeter cubed. So our density would be 5 grams per centimeter cubed. Question 7 tells us to describe what happens to particles when a solid melts into a liquid. So we'd have to explain what happens. So I prefer to write them in bullet points so we can like easily see where we're getting marks from. So firstly, I'd write particles gain more energy and vibrate faster. And then I'd write, this means they can overcome forces holding them in position. Then my last bullet point would be, therefore they spread out away from each other. And then just to make it extra clear that we know what we're talking about, spread out away from each other, and there is a greater gap between particles. And that's all you need to write for that question. Question 8 tells us to calculate the wave speed of a wave with frequency of 25 hertz and a wavelength, which you can write as lambda, this symbol, of 0.4 meters. And we can apply these to the formula C equals F lambda, where C is the wave speed. So we can say that the wave speed is equal to 25 times 0.4. And then we can just work this out. C is equal to 10 meters per second, and that is the wave speed of this wave. Question 9 asks us which safety feature is in a plug that stops the flow of current if the wire overheats. It's just there's a fuse which will help it if it overheats. Question 10 tells us to describe how a fuse actually works and why it's important in electrical devices. So we can say that a fuse works as it contains a small thin wire which stops the circuit if the current exceeds a safe level, therefore preventing overheating. We're also told to explain why this is important, and we can say that it's important as it will help people and devices remain safe and avoid any hazards. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it useful. Leave a comment letting us know what you want us to make a video on next.